What's up, guys? This is Captain Daniel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how do you know when you're ready to be in a relationship. So when it comes to like this whole dating thing, right? There's two kind of stages, right? You're dating, where you initially kind of getting to know her. You're kind of like, just getting to know each other and having feelings and developing, right? And then there's the whole commitment part, right? There's the whole like, you guys are exclusive. You guys are committed. You guys are only seeing each other, right? You guys are loyal to each other. You guys are pretty much saying that you're going to grow together. So I'm going to first tell you what I learned before from another coach. And she said this. She said, first of all, commitment is maturity, right? She said when it comes to dating, commitment, when you get into an official relationship, is maturity. And I agree with her because when it's actually easier to date multiple people, and I'm not saying it's good or bad, by the way. Like, I've had that phase where I'm like, yo, I want to date as much as people I want. And you got to kind of go through that unless you figure out what you want exactly, right? But I think most people in life, we are kind of told what we want by society, right? We look at, oh, I want a girl who's hot. I want a girl who's this. Well, physical attraction is huge, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you actually prefer? What kind of, like, I remember for me, for some time, like, I only dated, like, Caucasian women for a while because I felt like, well, it was kind of like my own, like, man, like, is it true that Asian guys can't get white girls, right? So I kind of had a phase where I'm only going to date Caucasian girls. And then when I moved to Asia, I realized, like, Korean women, especially Asian women and Korean women, I kind of vibe with them more. Maybe it's the culture for sure, but, like, the fact that they love the food that I love, that I grew up on, kind of the romantic culture of Korean dramas, the romanticism when it comes to dating. I kind of enjoy that more, right? The whole cutesy stuff. So I did realize that because the whole like romantic comedy versus Korea and America is very different. So there's obviously that, but it's just like when you first date, I do think that a man should date enough women where he figures out what he wants, and I think also that a man should pick a woman from abundance. What does abundance mean? So one thing I realized about myself is when I'm in scarcity, where it comes to money, where it comes to dating, where it comes to anything in life, I kind of make bad decisions and they're always like emotional, right? So for example, I remember when I used to date not a lot of women and I didn't really have a choice of who to date, and it was kind of like who likes me and whatever, and I didn't really have the skill to make a woman like me. And like I said, the skills, what I mean is what we call game or social emotional intelligence, is you could actually convince a girl who's neutral to you to make you like you. Like, that is actually possible with women because they're not shallow as men, like I always said this before. So that's, I think, the biggest thing about game is that you could actually make a girl who's neutral to you like you, right? Like, but if you're below, like, I guess she sees you as below a 5, like, let's just go back to the number system. Like 5 to 10, you always have a chance. Below 5, you don't have a chance because there's some girls that just won't like you. So, the quote, 33% of people will like you, 33% of people won't like you, 33% are neutral. Like, there's 33% of people who will just hate you for you, and that sucks, but who cares, right? There's 66% other people in the world, 66.6 or whatever in the world, who will like you and are neutral and potential to like you. So I do think when you initially date, a man should have the skill to know that he can date women. He knows that no matter what happens, he can go out or whatever in the social media age, the dating apps, whatever, but he could meet women at any given moment. It might take some time, but he should be able to date women, right? And I think that is an abundance mentality. You don't have to actually be dating like 3 to 5 women, and I've done that where like I was dating and I was telling the truth. They were all, I told them that we kind of like didn't explicitly tell each other like, hey, I'm dating all these people, but I know the women were dating multiple people and I was dating multiple people, and I picked the girl that I really was like going towards more. And it was interesting. It was actually in, it was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I was dating like probably at the time like four to five women. It was just on and off, right? We're just dating, we're talking, and I wasn't looking for a serious relationship at all. And then what happened was, I would have a rule, right? I would date like one girl each per week, right? And based on time and everything. At the time, I had a stable job, and I was kind of like, I had a lot of free time, right? So I was dating each girl one time per week. And then what happened was, there was this one girl who, like, I wouldn't say she was like the most average or anything. Like, she was definitely pretty. But there was like one girl who was like a racing model, one girl who was genuinely very beautiful and dressed very like, elegantly. One was like, she was probably the most beautiful face I've seen ever in my life in terms of like a girl that I've met. But this other girl, she actually didn't do any play. So it was Korea, right? So this other girl, she kind of had a normal body. normal, like normal slim body, but she didn't do any like plastic surgery here. Like the racing model had the biggest like woo, and then like the most beautiful girl had nose job and everything. But this girl was like the girl that I really actually fell for was just normal. Like she did a 9 to 5 job. She didn't have a big Instagram. Like she didn't do Instagram at all, and she worked in like an office. And something about her was just like it made me. I don't know. I just something about her. She just fit like I guess my type or my thing. But like out of all the girls, I ended up just going to her. Like I wanted to see her every day. Like I broke my own rules where I was like, hey, because she worked where I used to live nearby. So I was like, hey, well, what time are you getting off? You want to just go eat? And it wasn't even like sexual. Like I was just like, hey, you want to just go eat? You want to just hang out? You want to just do this? Like even though she went home, and it was very interesting because like, you know what I mean? Like it was, like, it was just I just like hanging out with her as a person. Like she was just a cool person to be with, and all the other girls kind of fell out of, just fell out. It was just like whatever. Like I just ended up dating her. And we weren't still to the point where a relationship, we didn't get to that point because I traveled a lot and I had to leave and all that stuff. But I do think at a point, if I stayed in that country, in Korea, for a long time and didn't leave because of my work, I probably would have committed to her. So I think that's a good example of like I would never like made a decision. It was kind of more natural. But there's some issues that I don't talk about. There's some issues I should have seen. There's red flags with her. But in all the end, I still enjoyed a lot of time with her. And she was probably the best girl I could be in a relationship with because I picked from abundance, or I naturally went her way because I wasn't scared to say I wasn't missing anything in my life. So I think that's probably when you should know when you're in a relationship. I think first we all date, right? We all date a couple months, couple weeks, whatever. But as a man, I want to speak for men. As a man, you shouldn't be jumping into a relationship like, oh my God, this girl's so special. I need to be in a relationship. I need to be exclusive with her. And like, this is the worst. Because you want her to be loyal to you, that's why you're making her exclusive. That's like the worst. That's like she's not your possession, right? You can't be like, oh, she's my girlfriend, so now it's exclusivity, right? Or the worst is, I have heard some guys like lie, let's be boyfriend girlfriend just to be physically intimate with her, and I'm just like, bro, like that's so. Like it's not right because it's not just about the lying part, but it's just like it's desperate, right? Just to sleep with her, you want to say you're a boyfriend. Trust me, like if a girl wants to be physically intimate with you, that's not the reason why she doesn't want to be physically intimate. Unless it's like legit, like her reason, like religious, whatever. But a girl who doesn't want to sleep with a guy, and trust me, it's not because she wants to be in a relationship. It's just she wants to feel like she could trust you or she could feel comfortable with you. A lot of my clients struggle with this. Like she told me she wants a serious relationship, but I'm like, okay, read between the lines. Is she saying she wants a serious relationship right away, or she just wants to feel like she could be in a serious relationship with your potential? And then, obviously, if you're the horn dog, you're the one who's acting all horny, and she could tell that's what she's saying it to you. Because there's times when girls don't say that to me right away, even though on like their online profile, on online dating, they're like, oh, I need to be in a serious relationship. So I think it depends on the vibe you give off as a guy. If you come in like wanting to just immediately sleep with her, she'll definitely have a wall up. That's her defense mechanism, right? And on top of that, what my other teacher said she said that make sure you don't commit to someone until you've seen all 4 seasons of her life. Or you haven't, she said, don't commit to someone until you've been in their shoes, in their moccasins for all 4 seasons. So moccasins are shoes that back in the day Indians wore, but whatever, shoes, whatever. So what she meant by is that it doesn't mean a year. Like everyone goes by time. Time is man-made, by the way. Time is relative. Like day and night, that's all relative. So like it's man-made. But what she meant is that you need to see all 4 seasons of her life. So there's obviously, spring, oh man, happy. Summer, woo, really happy. Fall, it's like pretty, but winter's coming really hard. You want to see all the aspects of her life before you commit to it, because people these days take commitment so lightly, right? A relationship is like, hey, you're my girlfriend. It's not a promise anymore. Like I feel like a girlfriend is just a name. Like, oh yeah. You don't even know her name. It's like, hey, that's my girlfriend Jessica. It's like girlfriend first. Like why? Like you have to put a label on it. Like for me, I feel like if I'm gonna call someone my girlfriend, it's like my promise. Like it's not like it's first she's my girlfriend, right? She's my girlfriend, which means I promise that there's gonna be a future between us. That you are my girl, you're my girl. Not in like possession was, but you're my girl. I'm gonna take care of you. Like we're gonna make a commitment to each other to grow together and possibly be a couple exclusively forever, kind of thing. Like right, at least that's what I think. Like I thought girlfriend was kind of like that special bond that me and because like let's be honest, right? When I'm dating, I do have moments where I feel like a couple with the girl, right? There's a girlfriend, there's like a vibe going on, but a girlfriend is like, isn't that like a promise? Or at least my view is like, it's like a promise, like even when it's bad. Because other girls I date, when it's bad, I'm like, okay, see you later, not gonna talk to you again, whatever, blah, blah, go crazy, like we're good. But a girlfriend should make effort. We get in a fight, I show up to her door, be like, hey, let's talk about this. Hey, like here's flowers. Hey, here's your special time. Hey, take her to the hospital when she needs me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think any, like, I remember I told you guys I tore my calf, right? I was playing basketball and I tore my calf recently. And I'll be honest, that's when I probably wanted a girlfriend. Like, I wanted a girlfriend to come take care of me, help me get up. Like, I tore my calf, I couldn't walk, right? But like, there's no one there, it's all dudes. And I'm not gonna ask the dudes, they're like friends, but they're not like close friends, so I wasn't gonna ask them to help me out. But I was like, man, I really had a girlfriend who would come pick me up, who would take care of my leg, who would put ice on it, stay with me that night, and I would take her nice for breakfast and everything like that. But at the time, was I seeing other girls? Yeah, I could totally like message girls to do it, but that's not right. I was just like, she's not my girlfriend. I'm not gonna ask her for help. I'm gonna just take care of myself. But a girlfriend is someone that I would say a little bit of expectations, right? Not expectations, maybe promises. Where like, hey, like for me, I know this. Like if my future girlfriend's watching this, my promise to you is that through all 4 seasons, I'll be there for you, right? Not just the good, not be the bad, like. But because I've already seen your bad, right? I've already seen your bad. I've seen your good, and your good is so good enough that I could definitely accept your bad. And you know, hopefully we can improve the bad. But if that's just who you are and you can't change that, I'm just gonna accept you. And I think that's why compatibility is so important, right? People always talk about chemistry, right? Oh, the girl always says like, oh, like I have chemistry with them. I just knew it was the energy, whatever. But like, chemistry is important, but what's compatibility? Compatibility is like, hey, like for an example, I don't go out on the weekends, right? I don't party, I don't drink, I don't want to eat junk food. Like I eat healthy. So if the girl loves eating pizza every single weekend, or she eats junk food every night, even though her metabolism could handle it, me being around her, I'm gonna want to eat that junk food. Like, it's going to be hard for me to say no because I want to enjoy it with her. And as much as disciplined I am, I have willpower that goes down sometimes. So I do think compatibility for long-term commitment and relationships is important. So let me actually break it down because I feel like now I'm going to go all over the place. So the first thing I said to know when you're ready to be in a relationship is, first, I think as a man, you should have the skill, the confidence that you know you can date any woman at any given moment. What does that mean? It means that you know you have the skill. It's like a person. The difference between a guy who wins the lotto and a guy who's already made the same amount of money through hard work and whatever discipline, right? He knows how to get back to make the money. He knows there's certain habits he can do. The lotto winner, he's going to lose the money, usually, right? They say 90% or whatever, they lose all the money because they don't know how to get it. They don't know how to keep it, right? So you first need the skill to be attractive to women. That's number one. Number two, if you want to be in a relationship with that woman, make sure you know it's commitment. So you've seen all 4 seasons. You've been in her shoes for all 4 seasons. You've seen her all 4 seasons. So don't commit to a girl unless you've seen the good and the bad and you're willing to accept the bad and the good, right? Because, you know, I do think this is the issue with relationships these days. Every man and woman, we just hurt each other. And it's called the circle of pain, I call it. So, you know, in the Lion King circle of life, I call it the circle of hurt. Like, every time I get in a relationship with a girl, or even not in a relationship with a girl, but I just talk to a girl, they sometimes put their past relationships, like for example, think of this, like a blank canvas, right? You meet, 2 people meet, there's a blank picture and a blank canvas. We're like, hey, we come in with the poster board canvas and be like, hey, here's a picture of me, and the girl comes with a picture of me, and we're like, okay, let me draw myself on yours, and you draw myself, and see if we like each other, blah, blah. But what happens is, like, she comes with the picture already drawn with the guy. Here's her pain, here's her doubts, here's her walls up because of the past guy. So I don't even have room to draw myself except for maybe my eye and my face, right? What about the other things I could draw? So I do think that's one of the main issues in relationships these days is like we all hurt each other. It's nobody's fault, it's just life. Like there's just bad people out there and there's also good people out there. And luckily my students are usually good people that I really want to help to meet these girls, right? So that's number 2. Oh man, it's whatever. Number 3, okay. The next one is I do think chemistry and compatibility, right? So a lot of guys, we don't understand that our chemistry is just like we see a girl who's hot, but like chemistry is always there, right? That connection, the vibe, and oh, she's different, you know, everything we talk about that, oh, like she's special. But compatibility, like what's her lifestyle like, right? Does she travel a lot? Does she do Instagram a lot? Like for me, I do Instagram a lot. I personally don't want my girl to do Instagram a lot because I know the life it does. She's gonna be on her phone a lot, and I'm gonna be on my phone. I want her to understand me, and when I hang out with her, I don't want to be on my phone. I don't want her to be on her phone. So personally, it's like compatibility. Like, do we match? Does she like to work out? Does she like to eat the food I want? Does she like to travel to where I want? Is she open to go camping and also do nice hotels, right? Is she open to everything? Does she, well, some of you guys complain that the girl doesn't pay anything. Well, does she make her own money, right? Does she want to pay half or at least pay for some meals? Is she caring? Does she have a good family background? Whatever, right? Like compatibility, because no matter how much you like her and you guys like, oh yeah, I don't care, I love her, so nothing else matters. I don't care if she used to be like a drug addict, right? But are you willing to, like, let's say you never were a drug addict and she was a drug addict, right? Yeah, it sounds nice that, oh, I love her, so I'm gonna take care of her no matter what. But like, dude, you will not know what to do when she relapses. Like, people just take that lightly. Or she lives in a different world, like she's a celebrity and you're just a normal guy. You're gonna get mad at her for stupid reasons because you don't understand her life. So I'm saying compatibility. That's why, you know, models date models, actors and actors should date each other. It's not just about they're both hot or attractive, blah blah blah. Because trust me, like, now I work as a model, I can see that, like, why do you do it? And it's like, dude, it's just because they're just getting the lowest hanging fruit. If I was a model girl, I would go with the highest guy, right? But they hang out with the lowest guy. And these guys, no offense, we models don't make that much money as you think, especially in Asia, right? Like, real talk. That's why I have my own business. But I feel like these guy models and these girl models, they're just both young. They're both like have no money. They're just traveling, so they're just like helping each other out, and they go through the same pain of like insecurities of their looks because they're getting rejected by castings, blah blah blah. That's what I think personally. That's what I've seen. Because if you're a high value man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna go for a high value girl, but you gotta make sure the high value girl has a similar compatibility. Like, I can't date, no offense, an overweight woman. It's not just about my physical attraction towards her, but I'm not gonna feel like compatible with her. If she has a lifestyle that causes her to be overweight, first it's gonna bring me some trauma because I didn't like who I was when I was overweight. So I won't like that. I'm not gonna like those habits, and then I don't want to be overweight. No matter, you know, you do become kind of you kind of become like the people you hang around with. It is true. Like, I know our parents say that all the time, but it is true. Imagine the girlfriend, you're gonna probably hang out a lot more. So that's true. And lastly, guys, I know this is cliche, but you really have to learn how to be in a relationship with yourself and the people who are already in your life. For example, this is a good example. So my mom and my dad, especially my mom, I kind of had like these, you know, tensions with my mom where, not mother issues, but I had to fix it, right? There's some things where like me and mom really didn't open up all that stuff. Sometimes my parents right now, they kind of say, what are you doing with your life? You were in the military doing so well, why'd you quit, blah, blah. Or even my friends. I lost 2 of my best friends this past year. It took a huge toll on me. And you know, I had to keep in touch with my friends too, and sometimes we get into fights here and there, right? Like, I don't get how people say we don't get into fights. I have the perfect relationship with everyone. Like, I don't go, okay, fine, that's you, but I definitely get the arguments. Maybe it's my stubbornness or ego, but I have people in my life where sometimes it's not perfect, but we work through it. And the biggest person that I'm working through is myself, right? You know, for example, yesterday, I caught myself being envy of some of my friends out there who just got into a relationship, or, you know, I feel like I could get that girl or something, and I felt envious of him. And I realized that this was something where, you know, I used to like pity the fool, and I would just eat junk food and not take care of myself. But yesterday I was just like, let's just go to bed. And I could tell that I'm slowly learning how to be by myself and control my own mind, and learning how to not be myself. Like, you know how girls give you advice, be yourself? No. I wasn't learning how to be myself. I was actually learning how to be besides myself, right? Beside me, you know, because yesterday I was home alone, and I remember I was like kind of feeling envious. I was on Instagram and I was seeing all these guys getting girls, whatever, but it was my choice. I know, like, I don't want to go out and party to meet girls. I know I don't have time to go meet a girl right now, because right now I really want to focus on my body, my health, my career, and everything. So having a girlfriend, like, it's not fair to her too, because I don't want to go to a restaurant on the weekends. I want to eat my healthy food. And I can't force her. You know, a girl wants to still have a fun lifestyle, and I know my lifestyle, to be honest, is not a fun dating lifestyle. It really isn't. So I don't want to just bring a girl into my life when she's not ready for it, right? I want to first go through this phase of my life where I'm kind of in like hermit monk mode, and I'm just like focusing on my life and making it all better. And then I'll bring her in when I'm having more fun, right? But just like my parents, let's say they stress me out, or my friends stress me out, I want to be able to focus on them first, because they've been there since I was a nobody, right? They've been there since day one. This new girl, let's say me and her, all of a sudden we start fighting or whatever, I don't want to stress over this. You know, I don't want to think about a girl and the good's the good, but the bad, I don't want to stress over the bad. I want to focus on the good right now, and also the bad of the people who are in my life, and most importantly, the bad inside me. Because I'm not perfect, right? There's days when I don't feel confident, there's days when I don't feel positive. So I want to focus on me first, fix this, right? Not completely, but know how to handle this. So no matter how bad my inside gets, and let's say I have a girlfriend in the future, I know, be like, okay, hold up. I know you feel like shit. I know you're being lazy, but hold on, your girl needs you. Come on, put on that Superman suit, put on that Batman suit, put on that superhero, go help her out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to manage my emotions a little bit, control this, and also control how I feel towards my family and friends right now who are in my life currently. I want to manage that, perfect that in a way of managing it, manage myself. So when a new girl comes in with all her kind of stuff, all her kind of positive and bad and all the stuff that she comes with, I want to be able to help her out too, because I'm so good and so my foundation in me is so strong. So that's what I would say. Like, learn how to be in a relationship with yourself and the people currently in your life because they've been there since day one. Then get into a relationship with a girl. Dating though, you can date around. Like, dating is so easy. I told you, dating is the easiest thing in the world because you just be like, boop, boop, boop. All right, you cool. I like you so far, but now you know I don't like you anymore. Move on to the next one. That's the easiest thing in the world, guys. Trust me. Like, dating is actually easy. It is time consuming, but I think dating multiple people is probably the easiest thing I've realized now that I have the skill for it. So that was a lot. I'm going to try to summarize that real quick. So number one, I said like have the skill to date women. 2, chemistry and compatibility. Or 2 was make sure you wear her shoes in all 4 seasons, understand where she's coming from. 3, compatibility versus chemistry. 4, be in a relationship with yourself, right? Learn how to be beside yourself, not be yourself, but be beside yourself. This is Captain Daniel Kim, guys. Like I said, join my Masterclass Facebook group. I do videos like this every single week, right? Once a week. And for one-on-one coaching call, free consultation, go to dominateasiandating.com and message me. All right, guys. See you later.